Hello students, today we're going to discuss about cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton is like the internal framework, or skeleton of a cell, but it's not made of bones. Instead, it's a flexible, dynamic network of tiny protein threads, filaments, spread throughout the cytoplasm. Think of it as the scaffolding, highways, ropes, and muscles all rolled into one inside every cell. Why do cells need a cytoskeleton? First point, holds the cell's shape and gives it strength. Just like tent poles keep a tent from collapsing, or a building's framework keeps it standing, the cytoskeleton stops the cell from being a floppy blob. It lets cells have weird, or asymmetric shapes, like nerve cells with long branches or skin cells that are flat. Second point, supports cell extensions or protrusions, like little arms or fingers from the cell surface. Microvilli, tiny finger-like bumps that increase surface area, for example, in intestine cells to absorb food. Cilia, short hair-like structures that wave to move fluid, for example, in lungs to clear dust. Flagella, longer whip-like structures for swimming, for example, sperm cells. Filopodia, very thin, finger-like extensions, 0.1 to 0.3 micrometer thick, made of straight bundles of actin. They act like feelers, help cells move, heal wounds, or grow nerve connections. Lamellipodia, broader, sheet-like extensions at the front of a moving cell, made of a branched actin network. They look like ruffles and push the cell forward during migration, like a crawling amoeba or white blood cell chasing bacteria. Tunneling nanotubes, TNTs, super long, up to 100 micrometer, thin tube-like connections between cells. They act like bridges or tunnels, letting cells share things directly, for example, mitochondria, proteins, or signals. It's a special way cells talk or help each other over long distances, almost like an ancient form of direct messaging between cells. Third point, keeps organelles in their proper places. The cytoskeleton anchors things so they don't float around randomly. Golgi apparatus stays near the nucleus. Mitochondria stay close to where energy is needed most. Fourth point, acts like train tracks for transport inside the cell. Tiny, motor proteins walk along these tracks carrying vesicles, little packages, macromolecules, or even whole organelles. This is called intracellular transport. Examples: moving food packages, vesicles, around. Pulling chromosomes apart during cell division, mitosis or meiosis. Helping whole cells move during embryo development, or when white blood cells squeeze out of blood vessels to fight infection. Fifth point, allows movement and force generation. Muscle cells contract using special cytoskeleton parts, sarcomeres. Cilia and flagella bend and beat thanks to cytoskeleton motors. The three main types of cytoskeleton filaments are: there are also helper proteins that bind to these filaments to build them, break them down, stabilize them, or make them move, for example, myosin for movement on actin, dynein or kinesin for walking on microtubules. When the cytoskeleton goes wrong, diseases. Ciliopathies, problems with cilia or flagella, issues like breathing problems or infertility. Neurodegenerative diseases, for example, Alzheimer's, some forms. Transport along microtubules fails, neurotransmitters don't reach where needed. Sterility, for example, Cardigener syndrome, defective motors in sperm flagella. Septins, a newer type, help organize membranes and help during cell division. In short, the cytoskeleton isn't just sitting there, it's constantly changing, assembling, and disassembling to let the cell stay strong, keep everything organized, move stuff around, change shape, crawl, divide, and even talk to neighboring cells. Without it, cells would be shapeless bags that couldn't function properly. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe this channel.